Hi guys. I hope you will find the nodes I have created useful. The idea came to me a few weeks ago, when I needed some conditional colors and textures in a project of mine. I have struggled to find any nodes that can output true or false given any condition, or such that perform an if statement. I have created a very simple Boolean node, which takes an input and a condition and outputs true or false, in other words 1 or 0. The condition is a value, which sets the boundaries of what is true. Any value equal to or above the condition will be true, and the rest will be false. The input can be any scalar value from -infinity to +infinity, but the condition, however, I have restricted to values between 0 and 1. Of course, you can change this in the node settings. I have also created a very simple node called Boolean value, with two outputs, true and false, which are essentially 1 and 0. This can be used very easily when the condition we are looking for is exactly one of those two values. I have set the default cube to the Boolean material, and turned the viewport shading on. Given the explanation, we can now add a value, by clicking Shift+A, and then typing in value. Let's also add a Boolean value node in the same manner. If we plug in the value to the input of the Boolean node, and the Boolean value's true output to the condition of the Boolean node, we can press Ctrl+Shift and click on the Boolean node, to see what its output looks like. We should be seeing black color, because the default for the value node is 0.5, and we have set out condition to 1, so everything under 1 is false. Let's tweak the value node and see what happens. As we can see, when we are at 1 or higher, the Boolean node outputs true. If we now set the condition to be false, or 0, everything equal to or above 0 should be true and the rest false. Let's see it in action. It works. However, we should not mistaken the Boolean node with an if statement. This is why I have used the Boolean value node to set the condition for the Boolean node. Some of you might have expected that plugging in the false output to the condition would give us true output when the value is false, but this is not the case. The condition of the Boolean node is the boundary of truth. If we wanted to output conditional value, depending on the result of an expression, or value, we can use the if node that I have created. It simply takes an expression and a condition, which evaluates to true or false and outputs the result, if true, and the else input, if false. The condition here can be any value between 0 and 1, but the expression's value must meet exactly the condition in order to get the result. All other values will output false, or the else result. Let's see it in action by adding a Boolean value node and a Boolean node. We would like to control the Boolean node's output with a value node for the input, and 0 as a condition, so every value equal to or greater than 0 is true and every negative value is false. If we add two gradient textures and set the first to be linear and the second to be quadratic, we can plug them into the result and else inputs of the if node. Let's also plug the Boolean value node's true output to the condition of the if node. Now if we tweak the value node, we will see that the if node outputs the linear gradient texture for all non-negative values, and the quadratic texture vice versa. Those nodes might come in handy when masking textures, but what if we wanted to keep some of the texture's details, while masking some parts of it? Let me explain this more visual. Let's add a noise texture and plug its factor output to a Boolean node's input slot. Tweaking the condition of the Boolean node will give us different masks, but all of them are Boolean, black and white only. What if we wanted to keep some of the details of the original texture? Here is where I came up with the smooth Boolean node. We can add one by hitting Shift+A and typing smooth Boolean in the search box. This node acts way more different than the normal Boolean node. Here you will see a few extra inputs. Truthiness is a special one. It has a range from 0 to 1, where 1 outputs the true value of the input, whether 0 or 1, and the lesser truthiness is, the closer the value of the input goes to its opposite. In other words, you can easily flip the output of the smooth Boolean node by tweaking the truthiness. A truthiness of 0.5 should output the original input, thus no masking going on. The smoothest input on the other side has also a range from 0 to 1, where 1 outputs the result of the node with no changes, and 0 outputs false. Everything in between is a shade of the output. Tweaking the condition, the truthiness and the smoothness can give us very easy and fast control over masking textures. I will now show you a few usable settings for creating nice materials very easy by using those nodes. Before I proceed, I want to note that in case I see enough interest in this video, there will be more and more conditional and Boolean nodes coming. I am thinking about Boolean operators and conditional vectors, colors, color ramps, ambient occlusion, PBR maps, who knows why not vector displacements, and even more great stuff. The blend file containing the nodes shown in this video is available on my Patreon page, link in the description. Like, share and subscribe to help me build more useful stuff and create content worth watching. Thanks to all of you already supporting me.
Ooh.